How you feeling today?
I'm tighten the fat lady socks, man.
Hold on.
Tighten the fat lady socks. I'm telling you, I'm all right right now compared to how I was feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't be
I'm
mad you
using
said
this time to get my mind right.
Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We all do though.
Thanks. We appreciate you for being here though, brother. Like, we really do. For real. You know.
Bro, I've been telling him, I said, man, we gotta get Mario back on.
Bro, he been saying that.
Like
he been saying that, bro. He been saying that. For real. And it's just crazy, man, because I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I knew your last interview was gonna be a good interview, but I didn't know how well
it was gonna
translate online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because to draw like the kind of numbers that your episode drew, you gotta like have a big name. You know what I'm saying? Like online. But what I learned is that your name is bigger offline. Your presence is big, bro. Your following is crazy, bro. And when I say I realized, like, dang, man, my boy, like, I didn't really understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, but once I seen the comments and the people coming out sharing, like, I'm like, oh.
When I try to tell a lot of people, man, that before radio and before podcasts, I'm not trying to play my own piano or nothing. Like, I was a successful drug dealer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wasn't one of those drug dealers that people was always mad and always wanted to bring home to. Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, the people, they knew what I was doing, but they knew behind all that it was a good dude.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I didn't take the money to look down on people because I still ate Roman noodles and hot sauce and drunk out of pickle jar. You see what I'm saying? So I made the money bring the people around me together. They feel comfortable coming to me with their problems and things like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can get overwhelming because sometimes when you want to help somebody, you know how black people are, they're going to come back again and again until you turn away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can say 100 yes and say one no and everybody mad.
Boy, you faked in, boy.
You know what I mean? I knew he would.
Come on now. Yesterday.
You ain't worth two damn flies mad in, boy.
So when I got into the eye of the camera and podcast and radio, it was like I was used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like me talking, you know what I mean, in front of people, it was natural to me because I had always had a bunch of homies around.
Yeah.
They listen, my peers, they listen, because they were like, man, if I come to Mello with this here, I know he gonna tell me the truth.
He gonna say something, yeah.
He gonna be transparent. Like,
he gonna listen.
I know not to come to him if I want somebody to blow smoke up my nose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's fact.
If I want an honest opinion, I'm gonna go to him because I know he gonna tell me.
Hold on, cause you finna start cooking. Let go start the show officially, man. You finna start cooking. And I want you to, bro. What is going on, man? We are back at it again with another podcast. I am King Mozzie, the legendary Mozzie the Menace. Across the table from me, as always, I got my brother with me, man. Dion the Motivator is in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, my man? You all right?
What's happening?
Another day, man. You know
Another
what I'm saying?
day.
Another special one. You know what I mean?
Special one for sure.
Bro, before we get the show started, though, man, I really, we'll get into it later, but I really want to just, take this time out and just, really just say I appreciate you for being here, man. You know what I'm saying? I really do, man. And condolences, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to start by saying that. Under the circumstance, we really appreciate you, brother.
Especially being here.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah. So, yo, man, I'm excited though, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on now. Don't get too far into the show, man. We got man. Shout out to our sponsors now.
Yeah.
Shout out to the sponsors.
Hey, man. Listen,
shout out to the sponsors.
I just want to say this. I just want to say, can I get a zoom in? Can I get a zoom in on me? Because I need the people to hear me when I'm.
Shout out to Mike too, man, for getting us together today. Shout out to Mike.
Right, man. He getting us out. So, man, I just want to say this. Man, today's show is sponsored by HLP Credit Solutions, man. If your credit is struggling, man, if you have under a 600, and I know a lot of times we be like, hey, man, I got a 600, we trying to break. Nah, man, if your credit is under 600, 620, 625, some of y'all out there with a 425, man, call HLP Credit Solutions, man. Hit them up, use the code CIBR, get a free consulting. Hey, and this is what I hear.
That's what I heard too.
If your credit score is already right, they'll get your pockets tight within 24 to 78 hours. I'm talking about anywhere from 25 to 100K, 24 to 48 hours. HLP Credit Solutions.
They get it. We make sure y'all tune in too on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, the sports podcast, Ball Up Top, do drop a episode. So y'all make sure y'all tune in today if you into sports. And stay tuned for what we got coming up as well. We'll let y'all know as soon as we get the day for that. We got another podcast dropping. So we cooking, man. We cooking in the kitchen. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. We appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, post notification bell, and comment down below. Let us know what y'all think. Let us know what y'all want to see more of. Who y'all want to see on the show. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, we bring to you.
Yeah.
Mario is in the building, man. What is going on for the part two? For the part two.
Appreciate you for being here, my boy.
No, the sequel supposed to be better than the first one.
Yeah.
You did something right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, you did a lot of things right, my boy. You know what I mean? Like we were saying before the show, a little bit off camera, man. For the people that don't know you, you know what I mean? We know you as the community leader. You know what I mean? We know you as a, what I like to say, from an ex-gang member to a full-time mentor. We know you as an actor, personality, radio personality, podcast host. We just know you as a good man, you know what I'm saying? But for the people that don't know you, if you can give them to them in your own words, who is Mario Hall?
Well, Mario Hall is a family man, working man, I'm big on loyalty and respect. I try to be humble. I try to be transparent, I try to be a people's person, regardless of what it look like on the exterior, you know what I mean? But, you got Mario Hall, and then you got Mello, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I try to separate those two. Mm-hmm. And I understand that in my past, I know where I come from, but I know where I'm going. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I take it in stride, I don't regret nothing.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you said it that way, because seeing my dog post today, this guy said, if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going right back to where you came from. Never hit me. And that's crazy. So with you, where are you going? Because I hear you say Mario and Mello, that's two different people.
Right.
So where is Mario going?
Yeah. I feel like I'm in a direction to where I feel like I'm tapping into movies. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to wear this suit at the same time. Yeah. It's trying to make me into like a local celebrity. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's humbling. I appreciate all the love. But I want to be successful. I want it so bad I can smell it. But I don't want to do anything to try to push my brother and his sister down. To get to the top. You can meet me at the top. Yeah. But I want to do anything to try to defamate character. Mm-hmm. Humiliate, downgrade somebody else to get to where I'm going. Mm-hmm. But at one time, it's funny that you asked me that, because this was a time in my life I didn't know. I didn't have no direction. I didn't have a compass. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And by me being able to make some goals for myself, I can work toward it. Because it's hard to work towards something you don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now I feel like that's what I want to do. I want to break off into movies. I might even play a little, with modeling. All the things that I was afraid to do.
Come on,
when
now.
I was
modeling.
Young, because I was so concerned about what everybody perceived with me.
Yeah, of course.
Why would you say like you was afraid? Why would you be like? Because when I hear, because like for me, right, like I grew up really expressing. You know what I'm saying? Like how I feel, how like the things I want to do, and I would like when you said that, it like it hit me like, dang, like. To how does it feel to like be afraid to do something that you want to do? You know what I mean? When it's like what is that feeling like, and how are you able to overcome that to like say now like, hey, I'm not afraid anymore. You know what I mean?
A lot of times, a lot of inner city boys, us minorities, we work for size a lot. Mm. Yeah, we want to look cool and what's receptive to our peers and the people around us and what we see that look like us and sound like us. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, man, my son, I was talking to him, and when he was telling me that he was off into theater and poetry and stuff like that, I just be scared to talk about because I wanted all the street guys to look at me as a gangster,
cool in the streets
as a player. You know what I mean? Yeah. All those things that that really didn't bring no value, no true value to my life. But my son is because of him, and he's stepping out. And it was like, man, I thank God for my son because he was able to fulfill and pursue all the things that I was afraid of because I worried about what I look like to people. You know what I mean? I would never wear pink. You know what I mean? And me and my son, we love pink. You know what I mean? But those are the hang-ups that we have about ourselves. We don't want to tuck our shirt in. We want to sag our pants, and we want to look like, you know,
want to look hard.
It's to a lot of people, it's a facade and a gimmick. You know what I mean? And I learned to be able to be comfortable in my own skin. And I think that what makes me stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I dare to be different.
Yeah.
I think most of us, like, just piggyback off what you said, like, most of us, we are afraid of what everybody else think. And for me, me and Dion, we talk about all the time, I always booked my parents. I think my parents were the one that kind of, unintentionally though, I'll say, let me start by saying that unintentionally, that they only knew what they knew. You know, my parents, they grew up in they was born in the 50s. You know, so it's like, for them, it's just a lot of stuff that they just didn't understand as far as like me wanting to branch out, do things there. They raised me just like they raised, like anybody else would raise a black boy. You know, you're going to get into sports. The goal is for you to possibly make it to the league, the NFL or the NBA. And I enjoy sports. I'm athletic. I'm very competitive because of being in sports, but that was never my thing that I was passionate about. You know, it's like even to this day, me and Dion talk all the time. Like, I'm not watching the series right now. Like I'm gonna be honest. I want the T Wolves to go and win when I like Ant. You know, I think he's our new age Jordan. But I'm not watching the series. I can't sit down and watch a game. I can watch it if I go in person, but I'm not intrigued by it. That's not what's cool to me. You know, being creative, making content, expressing ways through that's what's cool to me. Right. And it's just crazy now seeing how times have changed. Like we saying, like back then, it wasn't that cool to walk around with a camera in certain hoods. I grew up in Pleasant Grove. That ain't cool to walk around with no camera. So they'll think you the ops. They'll think you the feds. But now you got people that's quote unquote gangsters. Everybody's jumping on a podcast now. Everybody want to tell their story. Everybody want to, oh yeah, man, back when I was woo, everybody want to talk now. But 5-10 years ago, that wasn't the thing to do. It's just now that people, maybe it's the money that's coming out that people are being tapped into.
I think that's what it is though, bro, because it's like, it's so easy to get into. Like, back in the day, man, you got to think all of us, we all old enough to know, like, when we had like the flip phones or the Blackberries or the sidekicks. It wasn't no social media like this, you know what I mean? But think about if it was. Think about if it was social media when you was a kid. When you were a kid. When I were a kid, like our kids are kids now, bro, those opportunities weren't there, you know what I mean? But this is what somebody reminded me is that it was other opportunities there that the generation before said the same thing. Like, dang, if I would have had those opportunities, I would have did A, B, C, and D. But I think the times we're living in now, it's like when all of those opportunities are coming together and it's being merged with this technology and it's being merged with the AI and the culture and everything is embedded within each other, man. So now it just gives everybody the opportunity to have a voice. Yeah. And people are paying for a voice. You know what I mean? Like exactly. And I think that's the easy fix for a lot of people. I hear you say something about the streets all the time. Like not all the time, but you know, like you bring that up because that's your moniker, right? But that's not who you are. Right. That's who you was. What was that turning point though to pull you away from that? Because just like we talking about now, like people wearing that stuff like a badge of honor. You know what I mean? Because everybody want to be cool, but for you to say, "Nah, man, I like sports, but I want to build something." Like most kids not saying that. For you to sit here and say, "Man, listen, I want to express myself as a grown man in modeling, acting." Most men your age not saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they already stuck in their ways.
They stuck in their ways, man. So for you to pull yourself away from that, like, how was that transition for you to say, you know what, I'm done with that life, and now I want to be on this side?
I had to want better for me. You know what I mean? Like, I come to grasp in my mind that the streets brought me a lot of pain, and everybody don't live to make it out. A lot of people want to glorify that, but everybody don't make it out. You got some youngsters that lose their life.
Yeah.
And it's a domino effect. When you lose your life, especially, a young guy, he got a mother, he got a father, he got siblings. It affect people. Everybody don't come back from it. Sometimes it's a lifelong healing process. You know what I mean? And I feel like, if you wisen up a little bit, you can save yourself a lot of unwanted pain and save yourself a lot of time that you can't get back. You know what I mean? To me, I had to realize and see for myself that people will count you out. You know what I mean? Like those people weren't around when I was going through that mental distress. I had a contrite spirit. You see what I'm saying? So why should I worry about those people when, hey man, they didn't contribute. When I say contribute, they didn't contribute to me being in solitude, furthers me eating, my well-being, whether I'm mentally healthy, physically healthy. See what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of guys that was broken. See what I'm saying? I can bend, but I won't break. I want to be like that. I want to be like that palm tree. When the storm come and it go over, it's going to bend in the midst of the storm. But when it pass, it stand back up tall. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. Because a lot of people, they can't bounce back from it. I remember a wise guy saying that something that you overcame, a lot of people will become envious of you because what you overcame, it would have destroyed them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And some people think that when they accumulate material possessions, people become envious of them. Some people envious of you because your character. You see what I'm saying? About how the way you move and how the way you operate. You see what I'm saying? It ain't just got to be about what you look and what you have. Some people envious of your character. You know what I mean? And I have to come to the realization that, hey, man, I got to do what's best for me. Man, I'm almost 50 years old. The things that I do now is not attractive if I'm still doing it when I was 20, 25 years old and I'm almost 50. You're going to look at me like he a goofball. You see what I'm saying? But if he do a 360 and change his life, I can become inspiring to somebody else that was once in my predicament to say, if Mario Hall can do it, I can do it. Because I witnessed him go through the fire. You see what I'm saying? I got to take that into consideration too. You see what I'm saying? Man, this life ain't easy, man. You got to smile sometimes and you don't feel like it.
You got to cry sometimes too.
You know what I mean? I
want to ask you about that too. So we was that. I was going to wait till later on, man, to put this together. But since you kind of already hit on it, I go, how... I ask it like this. Do you feel like as black men, we neglect mental health? I ask it that way.
Man, in a big way. Like that dude Aaron Plummer say, in a real way.
In a real way.
Man, we neglect mental health because in our mind, when we think about mental health as a minority, a young black guy, we think that you retarded. See what I'm saying? We think of being MHMR. But losing someone close to you, you can become mentally unhealthy. You catch your wife cheating on you, you're not in your right mind. You see what I'm saying? You might be smiling on the exterior, but your soul is crying. You don't want everybody to see you in this predicament when you known to be strong and putting on for everybody else. But hey, man, the minister need minister too sometimes. The help need help sometimes. You see what I'm saying? The pastor might need pastor too. See what I'm saying? Hey, man, I remember reading in the spiritual book, in the self-help book, he said that if you don't need no help, you portraying to be God. God ain't gonna give you all the gifts. He gonna give you one, he gonna give you one, he might give you two, might give me one, might give you three. But he's not gonna never give you all of them because he wants us to be dependent upon one another. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to preach to y'all. That's why he say, love me first. With all your heart, your mind, your soul. And love your brother as you love yourself. Because he wants to be dependent upon one another.
Let me ask you this, man, because I know, like, when I was going through the hardest point in my life, it felt like I was in, like, the the darkest place ever. Like the world was just like coming down on me. Like everything was on my shoulder, just like that pressure. And for me, the only relief was going to therapy, right? Like really taking therapy serious, like diving into it. Because for a long time, I was always like, man, you finna pay somebody to talk to you or to listen to your problems. But for me, it was like, man, I gotta try something, because it was like nobody really understood me. But when I sat down in front of that therapist and when I told her some of the craziest things and some of the craziest thoughts in my mind, it was like, for one time in my life, I didn't feel judged. I felt at ease. I felt like I was being heard, right? And those sessions, like slowly, it started to like change me into another person, right? Like that was my relief, therapy.
Right.
For you, what's your thoughts on therapy? Do you feel like therapy is necessary, or do you feel like? Because I hear you talk about the church.
Man, I'm glad you said that.
Because black people, they feel like, oh, my therapist is the church. Pastor said,
the therapist.
Pastor said, what
Pastor
I'm saying?
Jones.
Come on now.
Deacon Thornton.
Man. So what's your thoughts on therapy?
Man, I believe, my personal opinion, at first it didn't matter, but I believe that seeking therapy and counseling, that's acknowledging that you have a problem. And the first step to problem solving is acknowledging the problem first.
Thanks.
Right? We all need a little help.
Thanks.
Sometimes we have thoughts that we don't want nobody to know. We be ashamed of. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes your mind, your conscience will talk to you. You might not speak out loud about it, but everybody has a conscience.
Yeah.
Or you supposed to.
Yeah.
And your conscience will talk to you. You see what I'm saying? But it's about what your conscience is telling you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey man, I just lost my son. I need therapy.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Everybody needs somebody to listen to them, even if it's for a few minutes, just to vent. Sometimes you remember, like it's a saying that, like sometimes we have friends that we've been knowing all our life, and we need somebody that we can open up to and be ourselves, that accept us for who we are, all our flaws. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because we know, like I was telling you earlier, I know that I can get an honest and transparent answer from this guy.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? We don't need nobody to blow smoke up our their ear and play our piano for us. We need somebody to tell us the truth. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes coming from that person that we respect, it go a long way. You see what I'm saying? If you value my opinion, right? And you might be on the brink of doing something stupid, right? But if I come to you and say, hey, I've been there before, listen to me. You feel like this, I can relate to it. Right. And then you will start to listen and be like, he telling me and describing all the emotions that I'm feeling right now. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to listen to somebody that feel like they got it all together.
Yeah.
Right? Because that person in his mind that feel like he got it all together, it's some demons and skeletons in his closet too. And he don't want nobody else to know. We just battle different demons. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be honest, I tried therapy one time.
Yeah.
That shit didn't work. That shit didn't work, man. And I said I've been against therapy ever since then. I'm in Eastfield College. This is back in this is probably like 2018, 2018 around that time. No, it's probably like 20. Oh, I lied. This is like 2015.
Yeah, the age catching up to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 2015, bro. This is like 2015. I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm working at this warehouse, and my cousin got me on it. It's a Saturday morning. I don't even work on Saturdays. I'm driving to work, and one of my guys from PV, that's where I was coming from Prairie View. Well, I went to Prairie View and A&M. One of my guys called me. He's like, hey, you heard what happened? I'm like, nah, what's up? He was like, LD got shot. So I'm like, all right. LD is my cousin. And we all went to PV together. I'm like, damn, so is he good or what? He's like, man, I don't know. They just telling me that he got shot. So I'm like, okay. So I'm calling around. And then people called me back. They were like, nah, he didn't make it. And for the first time, I felt, I don't know. I don't even know what I felt, because I never felt like I had to deal with somebody being taken from me, like abruptly, So I'm dealing with emotions. I'm like 19, 20 at this time. between 19 and 21, and I don't really know what I feel. So now I'm going to Eastfield College. Not Eastfield, I'm going to Cedar Valley. I'm going to Cedar Valley College, and I just noticed that like my grades started dropping. Like I was once vibrant in class doing my work, and I just stopped. And there's a teacher that noticed. He was like, "Hey man, what's up with you? Like you're not the same." And I was just like, "Man, well my cousin he just passed." And he's like, "Bro, I think you should go see a therapist." Mm-hmm. And so I go see the therapist, and I'm telling the lady everything that I'm dealing with that's going on, and I started telling her about like my childhood. And she stopped me in the middle of me talking. She was like, hold on. She said, I think you need to go see a professional. And I said, man, so what the?
Yeah, what are you?
That's what I'm thinking I'm here for, bro. And I never went to counseling again. And from that point on, I took it upon myself to feel, in that moment, I took it as nobody's coming to save you. You got to save yourself. God to give you the tools to save yourself. You have to save yourself. Nobody else is gonna do that shit for me. Because what if I was on the edge of committing suicide and that was her last words that she didn't say it to me? I'd be done. So I took that upon myself. It's some changes that I gotta make myself. So when I feel it to the point to where I don't know how I feel or what I feel, I'm gonna be honest. I throw myself in my work. I throw myself into the gym. Because I look at like if I put my plate or put my problems on somebody looking to get a solution, I'm going to get let down every time because I feel this way. This is not what you feel. So at the end of the day, I'm still going to be feeling like this when I get done with this therapy session. To you, it's just work. It's simply just work. So that's how I always looked at therapy. So I'm not against therapy, but I feel like therapy is just smoke and mirrors. Yeah. Smoke and mirrors.
Man, I'm glad I'm listening to you, man. That's deep. You know what I mean? But I believe that therapy come in different forms. You know what I mean? Like
explain it.
I just listen
when
to
I hear,
you.
I'm thinking like, okay, it's just going to talk to somebody. So when you say in different forms, like you meaning like,
I just listened to him, right? And I remember a wise man saying that in order to be a great therapist, a counselor, you have to be a great listener. And I just heard him say that he'd like to go to the gym. To some people, that's therapeutic.
Yeah.
When you read and exercise, it's in the books. It tells you that exercising releases stress.
Certain emotions, yeah.
It keeps your stress levels low. It's healthy for, you know what I mean? It makes you more vibrant and more fertile. You see what I'm saying? It's a stress reliever, and stress is a silent killer, right? Even if you don't confide in somebody for some professional advice, right? Eventually, it's gonna have to be some higher power bigger than you that come through and save you.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't save yourself. If we can save ourselves, we wouldn't need God. Right? You can lead me to the water, but you can't make me drink it. I can listen to you, all the encouraging words in the world, right? You can dress it all up, put a cherry on top, right? But if my spirit don't receive it,
then it ain't gonna mean nothing.
Your words don't hold no value, don't hold no weight.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you're gonna eventually have to listen to somebody.
Thanks.
Whether it's your brother, whether it's your basketball coach, whether it's your piano instructor, it's gonna be somebody that you're gonna have to confide in, and it's gonna have to be a safe haven for you. It's gonna take for somebody that you feel like that you have to watch their character where you can trust them enough to confide in them. Because right, every relationship, the most important ingredient is trust.
Yeah.
Whether it's platonic, business,
that's a
or monogamous.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You're gonna have to trust somebody. And it's understandable we don't trust everybody. And you're not supposed to.
Let me ask you this. Why are you talking about that though? Can you over trust people though? Because I was listening to what you were saying too. You was like, bro, I realized like, and you made me think about something like this just work.
Yeah. When
I was in college, right? I went to school, I studied sociology. So that's what my degree is in. I have a degree in sociology and I have a minor in family mediation. So when I graduated from college, I started working for a program through the city of Dallas called the DARS program, in which we would place people fresh out of prison, people fresh like got mental issues that's fresh out of high school. We would get them like job placements and help train them, right? And for me, like I was locked in, because if you tell me, bro, like, hey, you working with this person for the next 3 months, I need you to help him write his resume. I need you to teach him how to tie his tie, because you believe it or not, some grown men didn't even know how to tie ties. Yeah. Teach him how to talk in the interview. Go with some of them on it. Like, you really invested, right? All for me to learn, like, oh, dang, they looking at these people as just a chick, bro. Yeah. Like, because once I really started to, like, really help these people and step outside of my role, they're like, whoa, you can't do that. Like, you going to mess up the money. Yeah. Like, we only want them to do X, Y, stay in these boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So when you said that, bro, it's like, man, that kind of brought that to my mind. Like, it is about, like, you doing the job. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, I am crazy enough to believe, bro, that
therapy works.
Therapy works, though.
Bro, I just look at it like works. That's they profession, and I look at it like, look how many people. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work.
But that was, bro, you brought out a good point though.
Because I look at like, I'm feeling whatever I'm feeling. Want to self-harm, going through. I'm probably at the lowest point in my life. I'm coming to you. I done booked my session, and I'm feeling like I need to release this. I don't know what I'm looking for right now. I just know everybody's telling me go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy. I don't know what I'm looking to get out of this. I'm just know people telling me this is going to help me. When I get done expressing what I'm feeling and I say how I feel, once that hour is up, you don't give a damn about how I feel. It's, hey, man, hey, I'm sorry to say this. Your hour's up. Hey, babe, what y'all want to eat tonight? You know what I'm saying? My feelings are just, it's just a job, you know? So, yeah, for me, the gym was therapeutic. Pouring that energy back into me was therapeutic. So I found that to be more reliable than the sitting.
Tired of doing it alone? It's time to join a community that actually cares.
Inside the Realist community, you'll get weekly coaching, access to online courses, and connect with people who's just as hungry as you.
Whether you're trying to build a brand, scale your business, or you're just trying to stay focused, we got you.
No fluff, just real strategies, real support, and real results.
Listen, comment the word Realist down below and book your free consultation call.
Join the Realist community today. Let's level up, man. Let's get this money.
See you in the community.
Talking in front of somebody who's going to look at me like, yeah, this nigga got an hour and a half. I don't give a damn what he do.
But I think too, though, like but that session, it ain't for them. It's for you. You know what I'm saying? And even if they don't care, I think that's what made it good for me, is the fact that they didn't know me. They didn't know my issues. They not going to judge. Like, the fact that they didn't care, like, I can just dump all my...
Everything
I feel. I could just dump it on them. I can just go in there and be like, you know how sometimes you be want to talk to somebody, but you're like, man, I don't want to just... I ain't trying to bring nobody energy down, so I'm going to just hold all this in. Because, it's me and we carry a lot of stuff, but... If you can just have somebody just go in and be like, hey, real quick, bop, 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 then just go crazy, and then like, all right, bet, appreciate you. And then they, and I can go back to being daddy, husband, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. That's what it did for me.
I call my brothers for that.
Facts,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't feel I need to waste my, cause like you just said, like, we gotta listen to somebody. I'd rather call one of my brothers. I'd rather call my sister. Me and my sister, we talk every morning. Me and Dion talk every morning. I'd rather spend my time and give y'all my problems. Like, hey, I'm not feeling it today. I don't want to have to, damn, I got my appointment today, Thursday. Oh, I can't go and see the therapist till Saturday. Well, nigga, I'm feeling some way right now. So you tell me I gotta wait 2-3 more days until I get to see you. Man, how you know I ain't finna jump off the bridge in the next 30 minutes? If I tell you on the phone, you go, oh, well, call the next help desk or call man, I need help now. I'm feeling this way now. I don't know. Who said I'm gonna be here tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? So I believe I gotta call my brothers, my sisters for that. But
let me just say this. You went Antoine Fisher on this. For everybody who ain't seen the movie Antoine Fisher, when he got mad when Denzel didn't want to be his mentor no more, boy. Oh, that's how you do me. You just bro. You went Antoine Fisher on me, bro. Like, for real, but that's real though.
Because I'm gonna be honest. Like I deal with my emotions a lot. I'm in my head a lot. Yeah. that's part of why I'm such a creative.
Right.
I deal with my emotions all the time, but I'm learning how to handle them in a different way. I'm learning how to put them in their proper place. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned that too, even with watching these young men. That's why I want to ask you too, because I see a lot of younger guys, the YNs, as they call them now, you know, they do a lot of crash dummy activity. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's nothing more than just, they don't know how to deal with their emotions. That's it. Okay. Plain and simple. They feel something, they too don't know how to deal with their emotions. Okay. Like me, you know? So it's like, with y'all being older, y'all have already lived that life. Y'all are past that in whatever shape, form, or fashion. What do y'all feel like younger men need to get past it? Because they dealing with feelings that are normal, you know, but they just don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do.
I believe that a lot of you young guys need mentors. You know what I mean? Don't you know a mountain climber never climb a mountain alone? Mm. He always connect with other people to climb this mountain of life. Right? I listen to you say that, you know, you listen to your sister, right? But that's because you trust her, right? Mm. A snake will always be a snake. Mm. If a snake bite me, I'm gonna be mad and mad that he bit me because I'm in pain, right? But when I sit down and I gather my thoughts, it's still a snake.
He's just doing his job.
It hurts so bad because when you trust your sister, you trust your mentor, you trust your therapist, and they stab you in the back, that's why it hurts so much, because you put your trust into them, right? If I go into a marriage or a union knowing that I married a thought, a bust down, right? When she messed off on me, I already know what she was gonna do, because I knew I fell in love with a stripper, right?
Yeah.
She gonna drop down some other clients.
Yeah.
I got to expect that. Mm-hmm. But when she tell me she's an accountant and she go to church, mm-hmm. I'm putting my trust in her because I see her and perceive her as a good girl. Mm-hmm. Somebody that I'm willing to take out the time to get to know and get intimate and up close and personal with her. Mm-hmm. Right? That's why it hurt so bad. Mm-hmm. Because the trust was broken. You know what I'm saying? I always remember a snake gonna be a snake. And sometimes, like they say, you got wolves in sheep clothing. Right? Mm-hmm. People are worth facades and smile in your face. Right? Remember this. Some people talk to you to talk about you.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
Everybody don't have your best interests. Some people call you just to ask questions so they can go gossip on the phone with the next person. Oh, you heard what happened to such and such? Oh, yeah, it's all over Facebook. Mm. See what I'm saying? One thing I hate about social media, and I remember y'all saying something about social media, it can be a blessing and a curse. But a lot of us, we record. We ain't looking to help.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. If you picked up that phone and record that man getting murdered, that was them 3 buttons you could have picked up to dial 911.
Thanks.
Right? We do everything for likes, clicks, and views and comments. You see what I'm saying? But hey, man, like I said, when it comes to confiding in somebody, you got to find that person that you can trust. Yeah. And that's why it hurts so bad, because we trust that person. See what I'm saying? Hey, we every little boy and every little girl, his mama gonna be a prostitute, full-time on the corner, a full-fledged streetwalker. In his eyes, he still gonna see his mama.
Thanks.
He still gonna see her as somebody that he's expect to nurture him, feed him, clothe him, give him words of encouragement, right? But when mama portray you, somebody that gave you life, it hurts. That's why it hurts so bad, because that trust was broken. Man, hey, man will let you down every time.
No, face.
Like you say, you can overtrust a person, but sometimes we put too many expectations on people. Because a lion is still a lion, even when he sleep.
That's a fact.
When you wake him up, you got a problem on your hands. Because get what? He's still the king of the jungle. See what I'm saying? Just don't piss him off.
Yeah.
No, that's real, bro. Man, listen, I do want to bring this because we talking about the youth, man, and we talking about mentors, and you spoke about it earlier, losing your son. If you're open to to talking about it, if we can kind of like explain like not what happened, but like that process of like. Cause I talked to you outside of here, man. You know what I mean, and when I called you, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. It was heartbreaking. You know what I mean. But when I talked to you, bro, dude, you gave me so much strength to like hear your strength. You know what I mean. And I'm calling to check on you. You know what the first thing you told me? How you doing, D? And I'm like, God, like I'm calling to check on you, and you like. How I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, dang, bro, like that strength, like not how was that process, but how is that process, and how are you able to like get through it? Because it's fresh, it's new, you know what I mean?
You know what I learned a long time ago? Long live Mello Jr. He gonna forever be in my heart. But, I learned a long time ago, man, that the world gonna keep rotating. When I'm grieving, it's somebody having a wedding anniversary. When I'm grieving and my face is in the dirt, it's somebody celebrating a cruise or a trip, or exotic vacation, or some kind of accomplishment. Bills still gotta be paid. You see what I'm saying? I believe that it's a mental pain. I don't feel pain in my body and stuff like that. I believe that it's a mental pain trying to process it all. You see what I'm saying? Because it's new. And that's why I go in and out. And that's why you was talking about mental health. If I wasn't mentally healthy, or I feel like healthy enough to where I can be able to maintain, I lose my sanity. That's why I tell people, hey man, this is the most important muscle that you can have. You gotta exercise it. You're not gonna get mentally strong just because you wanted to get mentally strong. You gotta find something that's therapeutic, something that's fulfilling. You gotta find coping strategies. You see what I'm saying? Because we all gonna need a place in a downtime. Every man should have a place of solitude where he can gather his thoughts. It's healthy. See what I'm saying? Don't you know, I notice and I pay attention to women. I get a lot of women that come on my show and they can be going through a breakup and they'll say, girl, let's meet up at the restaurant down in Uptown. We're going to have drinks and we're going to come together and we're going to celebrate for our friend. We're going to lift her up, right? But a lot of men, we don't have that because guess what? I don't trust you and I don't trust you because when I confide in you, you're going to go back and laugh at me. Oh, he a sucker. He in love with that. Everybody knows she a thought. But that's his wife. He married her. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Hey, man, it just sometimes that's the way, that's the way the ball bounces. But I believe that you got to be mentally healthy. And the only way I can see yourself getting mentally healthy, you got to find a positive way to release it. Right? That's why you got a lot of guys that's in the inner city. They release all their frustrations and all their animosities out on other people. Hurt people hurt others. That's why he out there doing drive-bys. That's why he out there beating on his baby mama. He's traumatized by his past. See what I'm saying? He watched his daddy beat his mama. So now he think it's cool. Or he think it's okay or normal. Because a lot of things that we see, we try to normalize it. Try to force our beliefs on the next person when everybody have their own individuality. See what I'm saying? Some people Democrats, some people Republicans. See what I'm saying? Some people voted for Trump and some didn't. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has an opinion. And I believe that as long as you ain't hurting nobody and you have a positive outlet of how you voice your opinion and how you carry yourself in a certain calendar, it's okay. We're going to fall. We're going to make mistakes. But hey, dust yourself off and get back up. Man, I love my son. But there ain't nothing that I can do that can bring him back. But what I can do, I can make my life more fulfilling by carrying out the things that I know he loves and the things that he would want me to do. It's gonna be hard sometimes. I'm gonna have my moments. I'll be lying to you if I say I ain't.
How do you deal with that?
I deal with it because sometimes we stronger than what we think we are. Sometimes we don't know how we gonna respond and react to a situation until we cross that bridge. I can tell you what it feel like, but you will never be able to empathize with me until sometimes you have to feel that for yourself. And it's an undescribable pain. Like I told you, it's mental. I ain't hurting in my body. It's just that sometimes I'm in and out. Sometimes it can be a thought that can trigger me. You know what I mean? I got a lifetime of memories. You know what I mean? I changed his diapers. See what I'm saying? He behaved in a certain way because he got a lot of that from me. My blood is circulating through his veins. You see what I'm saying? Anybody that gives life to a child, a son or a daughter, right? In our minds, our child's supposed to bury us. See what I'm saying? We're not supposed to bury them, right? But sometimes we faced with adversities that we can't prepare for. And you never know the feeling until it's time for you to cross that bridge.
Man, I want to ask you this, man, because right now, you know, with like, and we know your son didn't go out through violence, but we know, like, in our community, man, like, bro, it's like these kids are just shooting up everything, right? And these mothers are suffering, and some parents they not as strong as you. Like, what encouraging words could you give to someone who have recently, you know, maybe lost a child and they like, man, I can't like get through it. Like, what can you say to them to encourage them?
Really ain't too much I can say, to be honest with you, because everybody grieve different.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people grieve to where they feel suicidal. Some people grieve to where they ain't eating properly. They ain't sleeping properly. See what I'm saying? And anytime you stress is a silent killer. When you stress and you ain't eating right, you ain't sleeping right, and guess what's gonna come behind that? You're gonna start to have physical signs in the body. See what I'm saying? You're gonna start to get bags on your eyes. Eyes get heavy. You're gonna start to lose weight. See what I mean? Some people overeat when they get depressed. Man, depression is real. But if you lay down in it and think about it, it can consume you, right? Because a piece of me is gone. As long as I live here on this earth, a piece of me is gone. But in order to make myself deal with the trauma better is to be able to carry out some things that I know he loved to do and he would want from me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing, to keep his name alive. The legacy, the marathon continues. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? All the money in the world can't bring him back. Right? But God don't make mistakes. One thing about death, a lot of us don't want to cross that path. But you was born to die. You see what I'm saying? It's something you can't prepare for. My son was fighting leukemia for years. You see what I'm saying? Me being selfish, I want my son here. Junior, I need you. You the clean version of me. I need you. You can reach people I can't reach. You don't have a record like mine. But in his mind, he was dealing with some physical ailments. Pain in his body that he had to sleep. He had to sleep with, wake up with. And sometimes we want what makes us feel good and comfortable, and we don't empathize and put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. Some people grow tired and weary. Some people get broken. You know what I mean? Like I tell you, I might bend, but I ain't gonna break. I might get knocked down, but I'm gonna get back up. It might take me a little while because that's something that's understandable. I remember a close friend of mine was telling me, say, no one expects for you to have it all together in your predicament. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to cry. Get it out. Sometimes I might drive down the street and just cry. I never know when it's gonna come because I'm in and out. And that's why it's best for you to become mentally healthy, so when it's time for you to cross that bridge, you can deal with it a little bit better.
What's that mental exercise like?
To me, mental exercise is when I'm reading some spiritual self-help books, when I can go get into a place of solitude and gather my thoughts, because I'm a thinker. I love to think. Like, I had exercised my mind to the point where you can lock me up in this room right here and take away the TV, take away all the toys that I use to consume myself, to occupy my mind, right? But I done built it to where I will be able to get through it. Just to make it simple. I'll be able to get through it because I trained my mind when I was in solitude. All I had was books. I didn't have no weight set. When I was in that cell, all I had was a water bag that I created with my mind. Or I had to get in there and I had to make me a line and drop my clothes. I had books. You see what I'm saying? When they take your property, you on radio restriction. You don't have anything else. So this mind, I had to occupy it and utilize it. I told you, this is a very powerful muscle. You know what I mean? You can have 3 dogs, right? The physical dog, the spiritual dog, you know what I mean? The mental dog. I got to balance it all out. I got to feed them equally. When you lift weights, that's for your physical body. When you read the Bible, you read self-help books, it's psychological, it's for your mental, right? It's spiritual. I gotta balance it all out. But sometimes when I have my moment and I'm weak, God will put people around me that'll give me the strength that I need. That's why I say therapy come in different forms. I know people that got service dogs. They get so depressed to where if you take that animal away from them, they feel like they can't survive. Right? And you looking on the outside looking in like,
and they crazy.
It's just a dog.
Yeah, it's just a dog.
It's just a dog.
Yep. I tell my daughter that all the time. We got a little Yorkie, and in my mind, it's like, man, this dog done peed on the floor. Man, I'm tired of this dog. But in her mind, she like, no, like, this my little sister. This Lexi. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't just no dog.
Hey, John Wick.
Yeah,
went through a mob behind a dog.
He killed everybody to move behind a dog.
Behind a dog. So people take stuff serious.
And that's why it's such thing as service dogs. You have people that's depressed to where they want that animal right there in their presence to keep them company. A lot of older people, a lot of senior citizens, what they have? Cats, they have little dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Right? Because when they spouse or significant other passed away years ago, that little dog was always there, and they know that their husband and their wife love that dog.
Yeah.
So that is a memory that I have of my husband that I lost years ago.
Yep.
He was crazy about that dog. I love my husband. I'm going to keep that dog. I'm going to nourish it, feed it, take care of it. See what I'm saying? And you lose that animal, you like, man, that just, man, what's wrong with it? He tripping over that dog. Yeah. But you don't know the meaning of that dog. You know what I mean? The sentimental value that dog had. See what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm laughing, but for real.
What's your service dog?
I don't think I have a service dog. I think what helps me, and I'm honest, I think me having a praying mother. You know what I mean? Because when I was participating and indulging in all the things that I was doing outside, my mama was behind the scenes praying for me. And I wonder why that those bullets missed me when the opposition came to blow my brains out. And you get a little bit older and you say, it's spiritual. I have a purpose. God spared my life. He got me here for a reason. You got to come to the understanding that you are here for a reason. You are not a mistake. Your mama probably was a prostitute. And your daddy was probably the biggest whoremonger in town. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Mm-hmm. But you're not a mistake. Just because Jesus was born in a manger, get what? He grew up to do something great. Make the blind see and the lame walk. But he was born in poverty like me and you. And you got to come to the realization that God has a purpose for your life and he has something great, something that your natural carnal mind can't understand.
Well, how do we get younger men to see that? Because they not listening to, I'm gonna be honest, they ain't listening to no nigga in no suit talking when they seeing people they age on stream, driving the car they want to drive, talking to the girls they feel like is their dream girl. They not listening to nobody and you clocking in and out no job. And they seeing a Castanet, they seeing a dude Dennis, they seeing all these other streamers that streaming, making NBA players money. Well, who we used to look at like the NBA players, the LeBron James, they making that at 21, 22, 23 now.
Man, you right, man. You know what I mean? And I agree. These young guys, like it goes back to when I was saying that I remember telling a young guy, because even when I was in prison, I was mentoring. And I remember telling another guy my age, I said, a lot of these young guys, they mamas and they daddies and they uncles and big brothers couldn't tell them, and they didn't listen. Right? But God didn't give up on you. He didn't give up on you. He didn't give up on you. Right? You know what it's like to have little, and you know what it's like to have a lot. Right? You done made mistakes. Your parents done got mad at you. Somebody close to you done rubbed them the wrong way. But they didn't give up on you. So we can't give up on these young guys. Sometimes it's going to feel like you repeating yourself. But one thing about it, patience and long suffering is a characteristic that a lot of people don't possess. And these young guys ain't going to get it right overnight. And I hope and pray that they don't lose their life and meet their demise while they in a learning process. But sometimes we got to hit rock bottom. I hate to say that. Sometimes these guys got to face some obstacles that they don't know how they going to overcome it. And they knew that it was something spiritual, and they knew that it was ordained, because ain't nowhere in the world I'm supposed to be back out on the streets with 3 life sentences. Everybody don't make it back. I just hope and pray that a lot of people don't follow down that path that I followed, towards somebody telling their story instead of them telling their own story. That's the difference.
When you say you was facing the 3 life sentences.
No, I wasn't facing them.
Oh, you weren't facing them.
I wasn't facing them.
Not you personally, but it's people that's facing it, to clarify that up. But when you was going through your process, though, of being behind those walls, was it ever a time that you felt like, dang, I'm not coming home?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How was that? Because I was watching the interview and the guy was saying that like sometimes you can get lost in your time to where you may be in there for 7 years, 8 years, right? But after year 3, it feel like man, I ain't never going home.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's the real department. I had been gone so long. When I come to the realization in my mind that I was on my way home, I got afraid. I had got so caught up for this being away from that place and racking up and eating in the chow hall and being loud all the time and showering and using the restroom amongst men. Everything is out in the open. They strip you from your pride right then and there. You come through the door. Yeah, there's a lot of times that it didn't seem real because I had been gone so long. It's like the wall became a movie. Those was my thoughts and my desires. Sometimes I have a dream, and in the dream I'm at home and I'm free, and I wake up, I'm still in my nightmare. I'm still in the belly of the beast. Of course, you're going to have those thoughts, right? But at the same time, you got to be looking forward to something too. I knew I didn't have a life sentence. I knew eventually that I was going to have a release date. If you keep going to sleep and waking up, eventually you're going to get old and time going to pass. But what good is it me to have a second chance if I ain't going to do nothing with it? I got to do something with my time. Right? It's more than doing time than just masturbating and watching sports and gambling and drinking hooch. Right? I got to better myself. Because what good is me to go away from 10 years and come back the same person I was when I went in? Right? That means I was stagnated. I didn't do no growing while I was away. Just because you turn 21 don't make you an adult. There's some people out here, there's some guys out here that's 60 years old that's still foolish in their ways. Right? You have guys that's in their 30s and 40s and 20s that sometimes you'll think he the mentor or you think he the adult. Some guys are just ahead of their time, right? But for those people that's ahead of their time, where they have a gift or whatever it may be, they have to tap into it.
How did you find your voice? Like, did you find your voice after you was released, or did you find your voice while you were in there? Because I hear a lot of people say, you know, I got out and I was still institutionalized for a while, and it took me a while. And then some guys say, well, I was preparing to get out before I got out. Was that your experience? Like, were you institutionalized before you got out, or I mean, after you got out, or was it to the point to where, okay, you out, you already started making those necessary adjustments?
I found out who I was when I was in prison. I found that I had a gift. My mentor, I'm gonna see his name, Larry Scott. He was a recovering drug user, right? And he said that God gave him a gift to where he can see God's fingerprint on people. Just like you and just like you. This is a gift that y'all possess. You might look at it like, I want to do a podcast, there's good money in it. But it takes skill. It takes thought. It takes proper grammar at times. Because you got to speak to where people can understand you. And when Larry Scott kept calling me up in the front to close prayer and elaborate on things, and I went to him and I was like, why you keep asking me to do that? Because that was really outside of my comfort zone. And he told me, God showed me a fingerprint on you. So I started putting myself in classes, right? And these was Caucasian guys, Hispanic guys. God kept giving me favor. And these people don't know me. They don't know my background. Only thing they realized about me was that I speak well and my peers are listening to me for some reason. So they start asking me to join them and help them run the class in these courses that I graduate from. So I was like, man, I thank God done really opened up my mind, you know what I mean, gave me a purpose. But in order for me to find that out, I had to get intimate with them. You know what I mean? And I had to do some searching about who I was as a person. Because some people exist and they're not living. Gotta live. And life is by learning.
It's for the living.